Happy Wednesday. Hopefully, everyone's having an awesome day. I'm going to try to keep my awesome rant cordial or civil, but no guarantees. But post election thoughts. It's a wash. Republicans didn't have the red wave, Democrats didn't have their blue wave, and we're pretty much equal. I mean, it's everything said and done. I don't think there was anything to take away from this other than messaging. I mean, I'm not really a Democrat or a Republican, and I don't really care which one's in charge. I just care about what they do for the country, what values they give to the country. And right now, I don't think any of them really provide that much value other than tribalism and being part of a group that's larger than yourself. And I don't think that's the way that we should govern. But as of right now, let's see, let me go ahead and refresh this just to make sure. According to the New York Times, there's 206 Republicans to 182 Democrats in the House. I believe that the Senate is 48 to 49 with 3 states still to be in the counting. One is Nevada, the other one is Arizona. And of course, we have a runoff in Georgia with Walker and what's his face? I don't know, Warshak, doesn't matter. He's either going to win or he's not going to win. Either way, that's on the federal level. That doesn't really affect me that much. I mean, don't get me wrong, they do have some sway on local sides, but far as the locally, the Texas, as it results right now, Francis Rourke is not Joe governor of Texas. Pretty much guessed this from the get-go that he would not be elected. Only reason why he became so close during the last election because he was running against Ted Cruz, or Rafael Cruz, when he was the most hated. This was pre-Beard. So Abbott may not, he's more liked than old Teddy Cruz is. Of course, Patrick wins as lieutenant governor. No shocker there. Actually, wow. Less people voted for a lieutenant governor than they did governor. Interesting. But this is actually pretty shocking. I mean, this is all the blue areas where Aurora can won. These are pretty highly dense areas in cities. I mean, El Paso, it's to be expected. He's from there. Fort Worth, I mean, they're pretty much Democrats. Travis County, Hayes County. Now, that's a big shocker. Surprised Wilson County went to Abbott, but that's all right. I mean, it was a big shock when O'Rourke won it during Ted Cruz. Harris, of course, is going to go for that. I mean, of course, you got some of these. Hindle, Brooks, Dimmitt. Let's see here. San Antonio, which is Bexar. I mean, it's to be expected. I mean, that just means the rural Texas still outpopulates these people right here. Not by much. I mean, that is like 1 million votes. A little bit less than 1 million votes. But that's still a pretty decent amount. So there's some value there. I mean, Texas is always going to be a purple state. I mean, it may not look purple with all these counties being red, but there's a lot of population right here, a lot of population right here, a lot of population also around here as well. And since it's off of the popular vote, let's see here, Paxton for Attorney General. Kind of expected him to win. Oh, and that's all of that. Let's go ahead and go to local elections. We'll go ahead and refresh this. Some of this is going to have the same things. The reason why I'm doing the Fox 7 is because that's going to be local to Austin, which is going to go into my rant. Of course, we don't have to go ahead and do this all over again. Now, there's going to be a runoff between Israel and Watson. Both of these people are garbage. Garbage. They're both think this one's definitely Democratic Socialist of America. If she's not, she very leans into that camp. Kirk Watson is not as bad as her. Um, she's like running diarrhea, where this one's just solid turd. I don't know. I mean, then you got Madison, which is also Democratic Socialist of America. I was really hoping Clinton would win, but he did pretty well. I mean, he is he did pretty well. I mean, it's about 11%. He got 2,500 votes, which is not terrible for his first time running. And of course, this is going to be a runoff right here. Unfortunately, Miss Weldon did not win, which is very disappointing. I mean, it's very disappointing. I thought there was more candidates up. District 1, District 2, District, I guess, 1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go. District 9, also going to be a runoff. Probably going to be, I don't know if it's going to be between these three or these two. Unfortunately, I don't remember. I think it was this guy right here that we were going for. And this is where the good part of my rant comes in. Austin must love high property taxes. They must love high rent values because they voted for every freaking proposition. All these is going to raise property taxes. This is a paradox, a conundrum, whatever you want to call it, oxymoron. Affordable housing, we got to spend $350 million in taxes to make Austin more affordable. And guess what? That's coming from our property taxes. That's coming from every landowner, landlord, homeowner. We have to flip the bill. Now, landlords get to offset their costs to a tenant. A lot of people in Austin don't have that option. We have Homestead, which kind of prevents it, kind of as a stopgap, but it's not much. It's not by much. But overwhelmingly, 71% of Austin voted to raise taxes for this. Let's see here. AISD, 73% voted for this package. The $2.44 billion, another $4 billion, $5 billion. Let's see here. Technology, general purpose, 73. Technology, 72. Bond packages, stadiums, 58. That was more neck to neck. Don't care about Pflugerville, but they also voted to elect their tax rate. Tax rate elected Vlater. I don't know what this means, but that one, that one, that one. All these bonds cost money. And guess where they get money from? They don't get it from the state. They get it from property values. Let's see here. Lake ISD or Lake Travis ISD, 58% voted for higher taxes. They voted for higher taxes for another one. Another one. Don't know what this is. Proposition A, attendance credit. Electrician, no. Leander voted for higher taxes. There's all these that are voting for higher taxes. Let's see here. Of course, all these won. I don't know if this shows it, but there's the, let's see here. Does it show it? No. Wilson County, that's Republican. Travis County Judge Andy Brown, 72% voted for him. Miss RuPaul Kadahari lost bigly. Now this is something that we need to get. We need our Travis County to be filled with supporting law enforcement. This is just going to lead for more higher crime because he's soft on crime. But yeah, there's one election where Myra Flores lost. I mean, I kind of expected her to lose, to be honest, because they redistricted her. She was going against an incumbent, and I just expected that loss because it was heavily Democratic. A lot of people were predicting her. The one that shocked me was Laura Borp of Colorado. He, I guess she didn't do herself any favors. I mean, it was a close race, don't get me wrong. He did get 50.40%. It was a close race, about 2,000 more votes, a little bit less than 2,000 more votes. So that was a good race. It was a tight race. But let's get back to Austin. I mean, seems like Austin and Hayes around this area just love high property values. They love high tax values because I don't know what my taxes are going to be for this house. My guess is going to be around 9,000 or 10,000 this year. And next year it's going to be even higher and keep on going higher and higher. At what point does taxation become theft? At what point do the population of Austin, say enough with the high taxes and start voting for physically responsible people that are all in it for transparency? Because what we have is not transparency. We have high taxes and nothing to show for it. We have an out of control crime issue. Watson, who's running, says we just got to deal with it because we are a large city. No, I don't think we have to deal with it. I think we need to address the issue and reduce the crime. We have a homeless population that's blooming because we give them the red carpet treatment, allegedly, and we have all this money going to all these resources, and they haven't even helped a single person. And it's frustrating. We're dumping money into it and nothing to show for it. Our education system here in Austin, we're giving us all this money to the schools, but yet they're asking for more money. There's also the Robin Hood tax thing as well, where we don't even keep all of our money. It goes to the state of Texas. I was told from a coworker that we actually had a surplus in our school fund that went into the general funding. Now, I don't agree with that one bit at all because that should go back to the school. That should go back to the school district so they can lower taxes for us. Like over half of my property taxes go towards the school district. And probably a third of that, if not more, goes to the state of Texas education. So places like Uvalde, who voted for Abbott. Surprisingly enough, Uvalde voted for Abbott. Schools like those that do not have a wealthy neighborhood or a wealthy city benefit from Robin Hood. And I don't want to repeal it for the sake of repealing it because we definitely need to make sure those schools are funded. I don't want to just take away from them and benefit from a lower tax because they definitely need to be taken care of. But I can't understand for the life of me in 70% and all the bond packages except for the stadium improvements voted at 70%, which means our taxes are going up. They say it's not going up, but it's going up. They got to be paid. You always have to pay your debt, and the city's there's no exemptions to the city. They got to pay their debt, and they pay debt through taxes. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to stay here in Austin, Texas. I have an escape route, but I don't know how soon that's going to be because, honestly, that really depends on if I could afford it. Really depends if I could afford it because if I can't afford this house through taxes, that means I won't be able to afford to save up to build a house and my property and retire. And that's why I'm asking at what point does taxation become theft? I get that I have to pay my duty. I get I live in a city. I get that cities are not cheap to run, and I don't mind giving them $4 to $5K a year to run it. But at what point does it become theft? When it's 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 on a house that's paid for. I paid just north of 100,000 on this house, and its value around 600. That was about 20 years ago. I don't know. Travis County is not the same. Travis County is becoming extremely unaffordable, and it's driving people away, driving hard, productive people out of Austin. Now, the good news is I might be able to sell my house anywhere between $700 to $800, maybe even to $1 million. when I finally leave because of the valuation of it, and someone will think it's worth that much, even though I don't think it's worth that much. But I had to have an extra strategy for this because I can't stay in Austin the way that they're voting. It seems like they don't want responsibility. They don't want to make Austin safe because they're voting for candidates that hate law enforcement. I don't know. Leave a comment down below what your thoughts are. If you watch it towards the end of this 16, 17-minute rant, thank you. With that being said, have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening.